Hey guys, today we're doing a little bit of a different video, as in violence in games. Now you've probably seen the media, if y'all have been watching the news, kind of bash video games for being violent, or being senselessly violent, or causing violence, or stuff like that. And I feel like us as gamers need to make videos like this, especially YouTubers, to explain to people how violence in video games works and kind of give them a gamer's perspective of it. So I've definitely seen this in the media, and I've seen it within my own family. A lot of them didn't grow up when games weren't a big thing, so a lot of them don't understand. So keep in mind that not everything is just somebody being uneducated or just being a negative person, or trying to be some amazing little I'm perfect and I can't have anything, just corrupting little Bobby over here. I don't say that. Not everybody's like that. A lot of it is age gap and misunderstanding. So I feel like I want to try and clear some of that up today. First off, I feel like there's about two ways that violence in games is really used. One, it's used as a storytelling tool. One is it's used as a fun thing to blow off steam. And so, the first one I feel like a lot of people can get behind, but the second one is where people always kind of go into the, well, you're just satiating a bloodlust, or you're just a horrible person. So, I first want to talk about storytelling, and then we'll get into the more difficult one in a minute. So for storytelling, there's definitely always been a kind of stigma on games that are super violent. Now, I get where this is coming from, because there are games like Black Ops 3 that use violence mostly as a way to give shock factor in a game. But there are also games, like World at War, that use it as a storytelling tool that makes you connect to the characters and realize the gravity of a situation. So, now let's first talk about World at War. World at War is a masterpiece of a Call of Duty game, and I think it really deserves all the praise and recognition it gets. But it uses its violence for a storytelling purpose, because all the crap in that game is brutal. I mean, some of it even today took me by surprise when I did my playthrough of the game personally, and it was just kind of brutal, but it was historically brutal. I mean, I've studied the war a lot, and I've watched some documentaries that they were pretty brutal too, and so I could see where it was trying to be realistic, and it stayed true to what these people went through. Now, I'm not a World War II veteran, so I can't truly understand it, but I can see from what I've talked to them and done that they've seen some crap. So, definitely, I feel like that's one of the ways that it expands the story, by really making you realize the gravity of what they went through. Also, I feel like we can't forget the fact that violence has always been a great equalizer. And I know it's going to sound weird to some people, but it has been. If you look at games, well, if you look at people, not even at games, look at people. A millionaire and a person who is living on the street can both have violence done to them. And that's a given. Now, of course, people don't think about it for rich people because, well, they're rich. But you can still have bad stuff happen to you and still have violence come at you. And so I've always felt like it was a great equalizer. It's never something that money or influence can get you out of. It's a life thing that, unfortunately, until God comes back and makes everything perfect, we're not going to be able to get done with, become finished with. So, that is definitely a thing that's always been a great equalizer. So, in stories, violence can make everybody equal, and I feel like that's a very powerful thing. So, definitely if you look at it from a storytelling perspective, games can be extremely powerful while also using violence as a part of their storytelling and their credibility to gamers. Unfortunately, there are games like Black Ops 3 that use violence for a mostly senseless shock factor reason. Black Ops 3, if you look at it, most of the violence in that game is completely shock based. It's not really gaining anything to the story, and a lot of it doesn't make sense. But since it adds some shock to the player for a couple minutes, yeah, let's add it in. So, I feel like that's where sometimes storytelling violence gets a bad rap, because people use Black Ops 3 as an example, not World at War, from Call of Duty standpoint. Because if you use violence as a storytelling tool to add to the story, I think there's no problem with that. If you add it for sheer shock value, you're not really gaining anything. And I'm not talking about like minor violence, like fighting people and a little bit of blood or something, or shooting at each other. I'm talking about some like rougher stuff, like the World at War when you meet Private Buck, if y'all know what I'm talking about. That's a really rough scene. I mean, one of your buddies gets executed right in front of you before you go and fight them back and retake that area. Then you have games like Black Ops 3 where, yes, these two people get captured by slavers and the slavers end up killing them, but that's a completely pointless thing. You're slavers. Your whole point is to get manpower, so blowing someone's heads off with bombs has no point to the story. So, I just feel like extreme violence can only be okay from a storytelling perspective if it's not used for shock, it's used for gravity. And give gravity to a story. So, now let's talk about the more, I guess you could say, debated topic. Let's talk about video games as just a way to blow off some steam. And Steam is not that game site that we all spend way too much money on when we see a sale. So, we went, and a lot of us as gamers are going to understand what I'm saying when I say just let off steam. But a lot of non-gamers, for some reason, mark it off as like a bloodlust. And I think that's, for one, completely stupid, because, I mean, people have all probably done something because they were aggravated or mad. You're going to have people who get mad and they may throw something, or they may say something rude to somebody or be short with people. That's all being aggressive because you have pent-up frustration. And so all we're doing is just playing a virtual game that helps us release some of that tension. So I think there's no problem with that. And I think it's kind of overplayed as some different thing to what everybody else does. Because if it's something that everybody else can start seeing as something they can relate with, well, the media doesn't have some little scapegoat for everything bad that happens in the world. And the people who want to just hate games and not understand them are going to still have their little scapegoat. So, I personally believe that, for one, it's stupid because all people have probably had some point they've gotten upset and gotten mad and done something out of rage. I mean, that's just a life thing. Most people are going to get mad and upset at some point in their life. And I feel like it's not a good thing, but it's a normal flaw with every person. So, now, everybody wants to go into video games and say, well, oh, they're just violent and they're just going to make everybody horrible and all that. No, it's actually kind of the opposite. And what I always find ironic is nobody really understands when I say that. Video games are a fun release of pent-up frustration. I'm going to use the game Doom because it's an extremely fun, kind of violent, I mean, honestly, really violent for as far as just, yeah, you're kind of breaking demons in half kind of game. So, it's not exactly like some E-game or E10 game that's going to, just be only okay for little Billy and all that. But it's still going to be a really fun game. And Doom has always been a great frustration game, I guess you could call it. Because it's always been a game that was good at making violence as a good stress reliever. Violence, Doom is a testosterone-filled, just absolute, I'm about to rip some demons apart game. And I love playing it when I'm upset and mad and just I want to punch a wall, but instead of punching a wall, get on the keyboard and, yeah, I'm cool after a little while. I'll be back and hanging out with my family and all good and fine and dandy. And, it's fine. And yes, and yeah, we're all going to get mad, but if you do it in a way to where you're not lashing out at people, you're just playing a game and having fun and also cooling off, it's going to be a good thing. So, I believe gaming as used for stress relief is also not bad. So, that's definitely a deal of people want to say, well, oh, you're just satiating bloodlust. No, we're cooling off steam. I mean, I play football. Football is a contact, adrenaline-filled, testosterone-filled sport that not a lot of people have a problem with. I mean, crap, I'm actually going and, like, hitting people. And I mean, I've taken and given some hits, and I've taken and given some hits, and I've gotten afraid that people won't get back up before. And there have been people who have died playing football. And I mean, there's not as that many people who have died playing video games. Directly from video games. Now, yes, there may be like a, accident that was a health problem that they had that killed them. But most people aren't going to die from the video game itself. So, yeah. I don't see where you're going to make the argument that, oh, well, this is so barbaric when people are all scoring and doing for football, but when a video game has violence and it has a way for us to blow off steam, oh, no, you can't do that now. You can go play football and knock the head off of somebody, but you can't do that in a video game where you don't, for one, have to have some amazing physical ability. You don't have to have that, and you also don't have to risk your limbs and health and safety and other people's health and safety, but you can go beat the crap out of each other. And now, personally, I play football. I love football. It's a very fun, testosterone, adrenaline sport that it's addictive. And so, yeah, I have no problem with people playing that. But I think that if you're going to support football, then you also kind of have to support games, because it's the same stress reliever, but one of them's just virtual and one of them's real life. So I think the real life one is the one I was expecting y'all to dislike more. So I feel like that, as far as the argument that games shouldn't be used for release of anger, that's completely stupid, because other aggressive things have been used to get rid of anger that may end up being more dangerous. So you're going to want to go to the safest option for your child, because everybody wants to protect their child. But if the thing is gaming, well, it's a demon apparently, so why would we let them do games? Well, games aren't going to get them hurt, but you're saying that's going to turn us into monsters. It's not going to turn us into monsters, because that's a fact. You're not just going to turn somebody into a monster. And it's no problem for them to release frustration. So, yeah. I feel like people saying that you can't use games to relieve stress, but you can use other aggressive methods, is just kind of stupid. Now, let's talk about some things that I want to say to non-gamers. So if you're a gamer, of course you can still listen to, but this is more geared towards non-gamers who don't really understand our industry. Now, first off, I do not have any distrust or disrespect towards y'all. Y'all are all people, and we're all equal. We're all people. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care what your degree or intelligence level is. We're all people, and we're all equal. So, a lot of y'all that are watching this video are going to have y'all's own opinions. However, since being a non-gamer, you probably have watched the media and done to get a lot of information. Now, that may be an unfair assumption. Some of y'all may be talking to gamers and if y'all are doing that, that's a good thing. But this is, again, if you are using the media for your bulk of your gaming, knowledge, it's not, I feel like you kind of have a disservice done to you. Because it's always kind of been the fall guy. I mean, I hate that, but it's always been the fall guy. So, a lot of y'all will have misconceptions with gaming that I think are unfair. And I do hate it for y'all. So, that's definitely one unfortunate part. Now, another thing is, a lot of y'all are probably born in a different decade. Now, some of y'all may be younger, and that's fine, and you're all giving your own opinion. But I've noticed that a lot of people who are anti-video games were born before a lot of the video games developed in what they are now. So I feel like they don't really understand them. They played games like Pong and Super Mario, but once games got into a more serious realm, they kind of just dropped out and didn't really understand. And to which I say, that's fine. If you're not interested in it, don't play it. I mean, I'm not going to ever ask somebody to completely bend their interest just to do something for me. But if you want to get true and good knowledge of a game, for one, have no problem asking gamers, because a lot of us have no problem talking about games. We actually enjoy it. And we enjoy people asking us if they want to understand something. We have no problem helping you if you want to understand. So for one, ask gamers. For two, try, and if you really do want to get a good feel for a game, and you do have the ability to do it. Now, if you don't have a console or you don't have a PC and you are doing this, it's not really as easy, but try and play the game. And yes, I'm not going to say that that's always possible, because a lot of people won't have a console if they don't play games. But just do something to where you can play the game or see the game for yourself, not a second-hand account with opinion. Because it's always useful to get the first information from the game, and then form your own opinions, and then kind of hold your own opinions up to other people's. Don't form your opinions by other people's opinions, because that's like making a copy of a copy. It's never going to be as good as the original, a copy of the original. So, those are my two suggestions for y'all if y'all want to understand or see games in a different way. Now, also in this video, I want to discuss something else. And this is a little bit more of a broad topic that's more relating to my channel and not this subject. I've kind of wrapped up all my thoughts on this subject, and if y'all have any thoughts, send them to me on Twitter, join our Discord and we can discuss it there, or put them down in the comments. I just ask you that on any three of these platforms you do it respectfully. I'll leave links down in the description. I really do love interacting with y'all. As long as y'all will do it respectfully, I have no problem interacting with y'all, and I really enjoy it. But I want to talk about maybe doing some more videos like this, because I've been watching recently and seen a lot of arguments against games and stuff like that. So I've put up a couple of videos like 2019 and DLC in this video also, and I'm thinking about putting up a video games and art video soon. That's going to be actually a dual com with an artist that I hope to do, but I intend to try and do some more of these thoughts videos. So if you want to see a series of more thoughts and opinions and trying more of a teaching or explaining videos, or kind of more of a thoughts and opinions video, just leave a like down here, because I really like being able to kind of stand up for gamers and be kind of one of the defenses against people who want to ban us and not understand us but prosecute us for what they think. And also, I am going to leave a link to another YouTuber who I think has also given a lot of good thoughts on this topic and other topics. Is a guy named Actman. He's a lot larger YouTuber than I am. However, he definitely has some good points, and I actually used some of his videos and some of his thoughts in inspiration for this video, so I'm going to kind of give him some credit and also try and get y'all over there. Go check him out. I will leave a little disclaimer. He is a lot more rough and gruff in his wording and language, so if you don't want to watch a guy who has a little bit more of a gruff language and more of a kind of a rough and gruff style, you might want to stay off of his videos. But he does go throughout that, he does do a lot of good points, so go check him out. And also, again, leave a like or leave a comment if you have any thoughts or have any questions, because I have no problems helping y'all out with opinions. And I'm not going to, try and change your opinion. I'm going to try and give you some facts and information to do. So guys, I really enjoyed making this video. I'm sorry it took me so long, but I actually changed this video halfway through because it was going to be something completely different. Hope y'all have a great day, guys. I might be a little late on the next video. I know Call of Duty's dropped some new content, but it's just been a long weekend and stuff like that. So I'm really thinking on what I'm going to do next. I'm probably going to cover the new information and content drop for Call of Duty. Hope y'all have a great day, guys. Leave a like, subscribe, and show this to any friends or family that like gaming videos, because they can watch the other ones or this one. And then show this to somebody. I'm going to ask y'all all, I'm going to give you one challenge. Show this to one person who you know looks down on violent video games because they don't understand. Now, if they have their own opinions and have formed that from their own research, then that's fine. But if they just blindly look down on video games, please show them this video. And just try and explain it to them, because I really think that helps us out as gamers. So I hope you, again, guys, you'll have a great day, and goodbye.